Guys, it's getting a bit real out here. They're finally putting us on a horse. This week, I visited the Polo clinic led by Malcolm Borwick at the Untitled Polo Resort to help you viewers dissect the game of polo. So here's the Esquire Polo Guide for Dummies. Now, an outdoor polo team consists of 4 players. So number 1 is offensive, number 4 is defensive, number 2 and 3 work in the middle and pass the ball up and back the field. Are you confused yet? So let's put it in another perspective. Number 1 takes home all the glory and all the goals and is the offensive player and scores the goals. Number 2 is the hardest working player on the field and makes sure number 1 gets the ball. Number 3 is there to defend and to pass the ball up the field. And number 4, simple. Don't let the other team score. The local polo season began in October and runs until May every single year. But can people who haven't ridden a horse before play the game? Interestingly, it almost helps if you have no previous riding experience at all. That way, they can teach you the riding ability, polo style, right from the very start. Now, riding a polo pony is more a case of balancing technique rather than traditional equestrian horsemanship. And in my case, a lot harder to master. Now, usually a polo match is divided into 4 to 6 periods called a chukka. Now, each of these is 7.5 minutes long, and at 7 minutes, you hear a warning bell that kind of sounds like this. Now, the final bell rings once more at the end of the chukka. However, if a team scores after the 7 minutes warning bell, or if the ball touches the sideboards of the polo field, the chukka ends immediately. Now, since the chukka is kind of tiring for horses, the players have 4 minutes between the chukkas to switch horses. On a very hot day, some players even change horses during active play. But why hear it from me? Hear from the master himself, one of the best players in the world right now when it comes to the sport of kings.
Well, the export of the sport of polo came because of the British Army. The British Army adopted their sport as a training vehicle for their army officers in 1860. And they basically, as the British Army at that time was part of the colonisation process, was sending military teams to various parts of the world, they took that discipline of using polo as a training vehicle to those parts of the world, and then it took off. It went down to Argentina, it went to New Zealand, it went to Australia, and all of those places are now modern birthplaces of polo.
Now, yes, polo is often exclusive and elite, especially at the top level, but it can be directly compared to motor racing. You can throw millions at the sport in Formula 1 or have just as much fun go-karting at a fraction of the price. Now, I hope this was engaging and entertaining, as well as a little bit informative. I'm Shrakshi Rai, I'm the online editor of Esquire Middle East. Don't forget to hit subscribe on that button below. And that's all for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you next week.